What makes people who grew up in the 70s and 80s so different? If you were a kid in that era, your brain was shaped during a sweet spot in history, a perfect storm of freedom, zero hovering, and real-world consequences. And the best part? A lot of you look at today's world and just shake your heads with a knowing grin. Not to be harsh, but because you've seen something that's basically gone forever. You lived in a time that felt endless and untamed. Even now, you'll hear yourself say, "Those were the best years," or "We didn't realize how lucky we were." Some of you sum it up perfectly: "We ran wild from dawn till the streetlights came on and it was pure magic." So why were the 70s and 80s such a unique window? And what did that childhood wire into your brain that still gives you an edge today? First thing, you became masters at self-reliant problem solving. It started with the ultimate parental line: "I'm not running a hotel, hurry, go outside and figure something out." Say you were bored? You'd suddenly have chores. So you adapted fast. You invented your own fun. Science on free play backs this up. Kids who weren't handed entertainment on a platter developed sharper creativity, better planning skills, and stronger executive function. No apps, no endless schedules. You built whole adventures out of nothing, biking across town, turning empty lots into battlegrounds, or disappearing into the woods until dinner. Your brain got trained to turn empty time into something meaningful, a skill a lot of modern kids rarely practice. That explains the creativity a lot of you still have, but it doesn't explain your ice-cold calm when everything's falling apart. That's from something psychologists call calibrated risk tolerance. You climbed sketchy trees, jumped bikes off homemade ramps, played with fireworks you definitely shouldn't have, and had epic neighborhood wars. Every bump, bruise, and close call taught your brain the real difference between danger and adventure. Research shows kids who experienced moderate physical risk in play grow up with better emotional regulation and lower chronic anxiety. You didn't learn safety from warnings, you learned it from experience. Scars weren't tragedies, they were stories. That's why chaos doesn't rattle you the same way. You step in and handle it while others freeze. But the real superpower most younger people will never fully get: your built-in comfort with solitude. You could spend a whole afternoon alone with a Walkman, staring at clouds, or just wandering, no notifications, no FOMO. Studies on pre-smartphone childhoods find that people raised without constant digital pings are way more at ease with their own thoughts. Modern experiments show many adults today would rather zap themselves with mild shocks than sit quietly for a few minutes. You'd probably think that's insane. Downtime was never a crisis for you. Your brain never got addicted to nonstop input. That's why you can handle waiting, silence, or being offline without spiraling. Another big one: genuine patience, the analog kind. You waited all week for Saturday morning cartoons. You shot rolls of film and prayed the photos came out. You wanted to reach a friend? Dial the house phone and hope someone answered. Your whole childhood was delayed gratification boot camp. The famous marshmallow studies and follow-ups prove it. People trained to wait end up with better self-control, stronger relationships, and higher life success. Instant everything feels nice, but it doesn't hit the same deep satisfaction for you. And the thread that ties it all together: true unsupervised independence. You'd head out after breakfast with one rule: be home by dark. No GPS tracking, no hourly texts. You roamed miles away, explored construction sites, built rafts, got into harmless trouble. A neighbor might spot you and toss you a popsicle, no one batted an eye. Today that freedom would spark Amber Alerts. Back then it was just childhood. Research on independent mobility shows kids with that kind of range developed stronger internal locus of control, better decision-making, and real confidence. You learned to read the world, trust your gut, and own the outcomes. Parents set boundaries but trusted you to navigate inside them. When the modern world feels a little soft or overwhelming, remember, you're not behind the times. You're carrying traits that are quietly fading. What looks like detachment is actually self-sufficiency. What seems old school is depth and resilience. You survived, and thrived in, a version of childhood that's pretty much extinct. A lot of you wouldn't trade it for anything. Best era to grow up, hands down. For one short chapter of human history, being a kid meant being free, capable, and a little wild, all at once. You got the last taste of it. If you're from the 70s or 80s crew, drop your favorite memory in the comments. And if you love content that dives into the psychology behind who we are, subscribe. Plenty more where this came from.